We are back. Game 6, Oilers and Florida Panthers. Will the Oilers keep it going and force a Game 7, or will the Stanley Cup finally be raised over the shoulders of the Florida Panthers? We'll find out tonight. Guys, welcome to PuckTime on WagerTalk TV. I'm Andrew, and I've got Carmine with me to break down this game. Carm, this has just become comedy at this point. We keep saying our goodbyes, as you said, signing the yearbooks, and here we are again, man. How are you, Carm? Good morning.
Sign the yearbook part 3, Andrew. I can't believe it. I said I didn't bet Edmonton. I told you guys Game 5, I was taking the over, and the over hit. I said silently I was cheering for the Oilers for the only reason that I'm in Vegas right now. Behind me, you can't see it, behind the curtains is the stadium swim, which is unbelievable, but the lighting is bad. Andrew, I'm looking forward to tonight. Circa set up a private area for us to watch the game tonight. Me and the boys who are in Vegas. I'm absolutely looking forward to it tonight. And you saw my ticket, Andrew. I took the worst value ever available. You said on the show on Friday, I think it was on the show, whenever it was, Monday, you said Connor McDavid plus 700 to win the Conn Smythe. You said it. If you like the Oilers, maybe take Connor McDavid. He went to minus 140 at the end of the game against Florida. Bobrovsky and Barkov were even money, plus 100. 4-point night, back-to-back 4-point games for McDavid. He went to minus 140 from plus 700. And yeah, I took the worst of it, Andrew. I bet McDavid. You saw my ticket. Dan saw my ticket. I took McDavid to win at the wrong price, but I took it. Because even if the cup ends tonight, guys, McDavid's going to win the fucking Conn Smythe. Excuse my language. It's going to happen. It's what it is. Andrew, they're playing so well, you have to listen, regardless of who you like tonight, you got to take the over. It's the same thing. The Oilers are playing hockey where they found a way, finally, shooting high, and they're doing it all game to beat Bobrovsky. He no longer has that mystique over them. He no longer is the guy that is in the Oilers' head of how do we get a puck by this guy? They're doing it. They're solving it. They've scored, 13 goals in the last 2 games. They've scored, if you go back even further than that, I think they've scored, it was 5-3, 8-2. They've scored 15 of the last, 19 goals in this series. 15 of the last 18 or 19 goals in this series to the Oilers. I get it. The Panthers are great. We love the Panthers, but Andrew, come on. How do you bet the Panthers tonight at even money? They're plus 100. Oilers are minus 120. The line hasn't moved. It went from like minus 120 on the open to 125. I talked to a couple of the traders at Circa that set the line, and talking to these guys, it's the same thing. They're like, it's the right line. Anyone who deviates from that line of minus 120 to minus 125, minus 130, any other book is wrong. The line should be 120 to 125. And I trust these guys. They are the sharpest book. Pinnacle's the sharpest book. When you have the guys who set the line telling you that that's the number, you don't take a worse number at your sports book, because long-term you're going to lose. I'm betting the over on this one, Andrew. And again, once again, I'm betting the over, but I'm cheering for the Oilers to win tonight. But I'm putting not a single dollar on the game other than the
Great
total.
Hey, well, you know what? You've got the total, and you've got your Conn Smythe future, right? So he very well could win that if they lose the series, as we've talked about. He will be the second second skater to ever win it on a team that does not win the series. If they end up losing the series, of course, they very well could come back and win the series in 7 games. But Carm, with what he's doing right now, and you mentioned you're being too hard on yourself, Carm, because you're saying you got the bad number. But guess what? After you sent that ticket to me that you bet, I've seen like close to minus 200s out there, minus 210s. So you still got a decent number compared to some of the ones that are out there right now.
It's funny because we're sitting a couple of the guys here in Vegas. We're sitting there, and they saw my ticket. They knew what I had bet, and then there's a show on TV, and they're talking about hockey, and it's like McDavid is now minus 180 to win the Conn Smythe. I'm like, what? Like, okay, it's like number. Even worse now. It's insane. But the guy has what, 42 points? Wayne Gretzky in fewer games scored 47 points, the most points ever scored in the playoffs. 47 points. McDavid's at 42 right now. I think it was Gretzky again, and then one other player. I can't remember who it was. The only three people or only 3 point totals higher than 42 in the playoffs. And yeah, you take it with a grain of salt in the sense of one guy accomplished it, and Gretzky accomplished it in fewer games, because the Oilers back then, when Gretzky dominated, were winning series in 4, 5, sometimes 6 games. It's been different for the Oilers. The Oilers have had to go through, I think, 5 in the opening round, and then 7 against Vancouver, 6 against Dallas. So there's been a ton of games, but the guy is scoring. It would be a travesty for him not to win the Conn Smythe, given the fact that we're in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup, and he has 42 points, which is unbelievable. I think it's, 8 goals, 34 assists, something like that. It's insane. So say what you want to say about McDavid. There's haters out there, but the guy has carried this team. He's done what he's supposed to do. He can't lead him to the finish line himself. Everyone else has to contribute. Zach Hyman, 1 goal in the playoffs, Andrew. Or sorry, 1 goal in the finals. And that was the deflection off that Bouchard shot where it went off of him into the net. It's Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, whoever, they have to step up and get it done tonight. Send it to Florida, and the line in Florida, if the Oilers were to win tonight, that line in Florida won't be any higher and shouldn't be any higher than minus 130 for Florida. Home ice no longer matters in this series. It doesn't. So,
Carm, you talk about the Conn Smythe. You know what the current price is at DraftKings? Minus 275. FanDuel's even higher for Connor McDavid. So that's pretty incredible to look at, minus 140 to 275. But I think that I just think it's absolutely insane that Bobrovsky went from being minus 500 to the current price for him at plus 900. That is the craziest swing that we've seen as far as Conn Smythe. And it goes to show, really, Carm, you can't have a bad game. If you're a goalie and you're trying to win the Conn Smythe, you can't have one bad game and win the Conn Smythe. You have to, remember when Jordan Binnington carried the team? He had one bad game, and then he didn't win the Conn Smythe trophy. I'm pretty sure Ryan O'Reilly won the Conn Smythe trophy. But if you're interested in the other guy, because let's look at it like this, Carm. So we go to the team futures section, right? So, and this is, I think, everybody should get down on this. The winner, the series winner, right? If you wanted to bet on the Florida Panthers to win the Stanley Cup right now, it's minus 330. The number for Alexander Barkov to win the Conn Smythe trophy is plus 370. Plus 370. Guys, Bobrovsky is not going to win the Conn Smythe. Matthew Tkachuk, I don't think he's done enough. And Rodriguez, he's not winning it. So, Carm, I think you're with me here on this one. Barkov at plus 370 is the number if Connor McDavid does not win it. And I think the only way that McDavid doesn't win it, even if the Panthers were to win the Stanley Cup tonight, would be, if Barkov has 2 or 3 points tonight and they win the game and they said, you know what, Barkov willed them to the win, we're going to give it to him. So it might be worth it if you guys out there have futures on, let's say, the Oilers, or you have futures on McDavid, Conn Smythe like Carmine does. It could be worth a little bit of a sprinkle on the plus 370 for the Barkov. It's pretty much like your ticket right now on betting on Florida Panthers money line, Carm, wouldn't you say? I mean, why would anybody want to bet the Panthers money line tonight if they like the side when you can bet on Barkov Conn Smythe trophy?
No, listen, I agree with it. And I'm saying, because I see some guys posting in the chat, like the updated odds, that there's some books that have McDavid at like minus 275, minus 350. One guy posted minus 300. I'm saying you can't bet him now at this point. And I didn't bet a bad line. I just bet a line in which I figured at this point, and he's minus 140 when I bet it, and you saw the ticket. I don't want to put it up on the screen because then people are going to say like, wow, what are you betting, man? Money wise. But Andrew, it's the thing of I couldn't take him at plus 700 because I honestly thought that Florida was going to win game 5 and it was going to go to Bobrovsky or Barkov. And so it wasn't until like halfway through the third period where I have to take McDavid. There's no way he is if they win this game that he's not going to get the Conn Smythe even if they lose. So I took the worst of it. So sometimes you bet at the time what could be bad numbers. So I took the at 140. I was never going to take it at plus 700 ever. Going to take it at plus 700. But once Bobrovsky got lit up and Barkov did next to nothing in that game, the line had to move. So whatever happens tonight, I still think it's going to be McDavid. Even if they lose tonight, he wins the Conn Smythe. And that was my feeling in making the bet. Even if you lose game 6 at home, McDavid's going to win the Conn Smythe. We'll see if that actually happens tonight. We'll actually see if they extend it to game 7, which would be absolutely fantastic because game 7, I'm still here, Andrew, for game 7. It'll be you and our beautiful producer, Dan Alexander, doing game 7 because I could be dead by then if I'm hanging around with the guys I hung out with last night. Bill, one of the legends of sports betting, 2 of the legends, Las Vegas Chris, yesterday. I took a bunch of people out to the Italian American Club, Las Vegas Chris, and Bill Crackman. You guys know him on Twitter, Crackman. Absolutely, if you're Andrew, I subscribe to the theory of if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. And I definitely wasn't in the wrong room yesterday. Listening to Bill and Chris, and we're having a conversation. The stuff these guys know about sports betting is beyond like any level that you can experience. Like Crack can't even get a bet down in most of the places in Vegas because they won't take his money. That's how good he is. Las Vegas Chris, the guy crushes every single contest down here. The Circa ones, whether he wins or finishes in the money, he's cashing 6-digit numbers. So it's fantastic to hang out with those guys. And then, unfortunately, I had my other side. I had the Prez just talking about poker. I lost with Ace Queen against Ace Jack. Whatever. Shut up. Anyways, with that said, Andrew, I'm betting the over, guys, tonight. Absolutely. The only bet on the game. I'm betting the over, and I'm cheering for the Oilers, but I'm not betting the Oilers because, again, it's home ice. I think, Andrew, other than the last change, we're seeing it means nothing in this series. So with that said, go Oilers tonight, but I'm betting the over, 5.5.
Yeah, I love the over as well, Carm. Here's a few trends for people to look at. I have written down. Nugent Hopkins has not gotten an assist in 7 straight games. Zach Hyman under 3.5 shots on goal in 6 straight games. Tarasenko over 1.5 shots on goal in 9 straight games. We have seen Ekblad go over 1.5 block shots in 7 straight games. To me, some of these are so important to look at, Carm, because guess what? It's the same team they're playing. It's the same matchup. If one thing is working, why not continue to go with it once again? You take a look at some of these guys that are going under 1.5 shots on goal, like Gustav Forsling. Why not continue to go with it? How about guys that are going over 1.5 shots on goal, like defenseman Matthias Ekholm? Why not continue to go with it? You know, Carm, we don't want to try and reinvent the wheel. We don't want to try and find new pieces if what we found is working. And right now, with some of these bets that I have found, they're cashing. They're successful. We're talking about a 7 straight or a 6 out of 7, 5 of the last 6 that have been super successful. And realistically, if people out there haven't gotten into betting unders quite yet, I don't know what to tell you, because in the NHL prop betting market right now, unders are the place to go. And of course, we've talked about McDavid quite a bit on the show. He has been fantastic for them. I would look towards a power play point. I do think that the power play will be important in this game. Carm likes the over. I do think that power play goals for one of the two teams will certainly be a factor. Hopefully both. It will be a factor. As far as probably I'll pick a prop for each team that I do like. I think that Verhaeghe over on his shots on goal is a really good one, because he's one guy I think that doesn't really pass too much. When he gets it, he's willing to shoot. And one guy that's been really quiet, Carm, is Leon Draisaitl. They're in game 6. The guy hasn't really done much. I mean, Hyman, he finally scored last game. McDavid's been doing what he does. Draisaitl might be a guy that I would look for as far as a goal prop maybe, or something like that, because he's someone I think could get it going. And then, you know what I find funny, Carm? I know we got to wrap it up soon, but you know, like the hockey assists, like how it's so much weirder than like basketball, or even like when you call like an assist in soccer. Like the puck could literally rattle around the boards, or it could go off the goalie and then you score and it's still an assist. So Evan Bouchard, he is still around minus 140. He got an assist last game on the second goal. He got an assist on the fourth goal last game. And most of his assists, Carm, are just him shooting. The goalie saves it, and then someone else scores on the rebound, but they give him the assist. So it's not even like he's passing to anybody. He's just shooting it, and it's turning into a rebound, and someone is cleaning it up. So that's all I've got for you, man. A bunch of props.
Yeah. Andrew, his shot is unbelievable. Like the force behind his shot from the point is absolutely unbelievable. If I was Hyman last game, I would have skated over to like the where the scorekeepers are, and like, listen, just it didn't hit me. Just give it to Bouchard. Like, don't take credit for a goal where the guy at the point that it was unbelievable. It's like, wow. I didn't even see the deflection. I just thought it was went straight in, because he scored another goal like that in the playoffs, where he just has that booming shot from the point, which is why they try and feed him. It's going to get through. Guys almost are reluctant to get in front of a Bouchard shot. They want to block shots, but you take a couple of those in the ankles or in the legs, Andrew, and you're like, I'm going to get out of the way of this next one. I'll leave it to Bobrovsky to save this one. But listen, I'm hoping it's a good game tonight, guys. I want to mention as well too. Andrew, I don't have a play up for tonight's game at all. I told you guys I'm betting the over, so that's likely what I'll release to my clients. So if you see a play up, don't buy it. If you do want to buy a play, Brian Leonard, got to see him the first day I was here. We went to Pizza Rock, which was absolutely fantastic, down on Fremont Street here. But he has a big play up in the NHL tonight. I have no idea what it is, whether it's a side, a total, a prop. I have no idea. Head over to WagerTalk, his page, wt.buzz/BL, and he's got a big play up on tonight's game. So I hope Brian wins. Brian, if you're watching, good luck on your play, unless it's Florida. Then sorry, not sorry.
I'm excited for the game. I really am. I'm happy it's falling on a Friday night, even though we've had to wait. It feels like the conference finals were over like weeks ago, man. This has been a long Stanley Cup Finals. A lot of people are complaining that we're almost into July here, and the hockey season is still going. But speaking of July, we have a huge deal going on right now at WagerTalk. We've got the Euro Cup. We've got the Copa America. We've got NHL playoffs still, CFL, baseball, WNBA, UFC. So many sports going on. So if you hear anybody say it's the dog days of summer, well, they just don't really bet that many sports. They don't follow that many sports. It's a great time to bet on sports right now. We've got a deal going at the website. If you buy the month of July, we're going to throw in the remainder of June for free on the house. And I've got a 5% play going in the CFL on Saturday. That's $35, but you can get that for free in June if you buy the whole July month special. So Carm's got plays every day in soccer. It's going to be a hell of a next month and a half for both of us. So guys, feel free to take advantage of that great deal. Go to either of our page, buy the month of July, and you will get the month of June, the rest of it for free. Carm, anything else to close things out, man? Other than that, I'm good. Locked and loaded with some plays tonight.
I'm taking the over. There's a couple of Euro games going. I missed the first one, which because it's 8:21 in Vegas. Now I know why guys like Brian Leonard, Marco, they have such a hard time getting up to do shows because it is super early. I've lost my voice pretty much, and it has nothing to do with drinking, Andrew. It is in the sports book yelling at the TV yesterday repeatedly, watching Spain and Italy, and Italy scored the only goal of the game, but they lost 1-0 because it was in the wrong net. Lost my voice yelling at the TV. I'm taking an easy day today. If you're in Vegas and you're near Circa, come out tonight. I will be watching the game at not Stadium Swim. In the sports book, I will buy drinks for anyone who pops by and sees me there. Andrew, soccer bets. The only thing I'm taking is the over. They did a free play video, guys, on the over 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon Vegas time. France and Netherlands. I think it's the XG numbers support an over in that game as well too. So maybe a little cross sport, cross continent type of parlay over Oilers with over France and Netherlands, and that's it for me, guys. Game 7, Andrew. If there's a game 7, we'll see you all on Monday. For myself, Andrew, and the rest of the family, unless Andrew, you want to chime in.
All good.
This is our last yearbook signing, unless there's a game 7. This is our final yearbook signing.